Gorr and his daughter are now the last of their kind, suffering within the drought of their planet. Gorr prayed to the gods to help his daughter at least survive, but none answered, eventually succumbing to the elements. As he lay with his daughter, waiting to join her, Gorr hears a voice beckoning towards it, eventually finding an oasis and his god. He learns that the gods care little of its followers, and that no paradise exists upon their death. This revelation twisted Gorr, causing him to have disdain for the gods. This emotion became noticed by the sword, and shows him the power to kill all the gods. So now he goes on a crusade to destroy all gods in existence, which he became known as Gorr, the God Butcher. An interesting villain with a sympathetic backstory. How can this character suck? Well, it's written by Taika Waititi.
Fuck.
Gorr has a lot of issues going on for him. The way his character is written, from how he was set up, you have an idea what his goals and ethics he'll have, only for them to manage to screw it up throughout the movie. Not only that, but the problem is affected outside of his character, being the tone not matching for a man that is named the God Butcher. This isn't really a huge problem overall of the character, but this is the seeds of incompetence. How Gorr meets his god, and they painfully drill in your head how much of an irredeemable jerk he is towards him, calling him a dog, and there's no afterlife for him or his daughter. Compare this to the comic how his god came down in the heavens and asked Gorr for help. This twist in irony how Gorr prayed to the gods for help, and now one is here begging for him, creating that surge of hate, grabbing the necrosword and killing it. Now let's really dive in why this man is just bad. One of his main goals is to eradicate the gods from existence. So instead of doing one by one, he's gonna take a page from Thanos and wish them all gone, since it's easier that way. In order to make this wish without using the gauntlet is by going to eternity, where he could grant any wish without any monkey's paw BS. To achieve this goal, he needs a key, and apparently that key is something that Thor has, being his axe. Because Thor's weapon somehow has attachment to an unbelievably incomprehensible ancient place despite being made within how many years it was created. This honestly gives me Rise of Skywalker flashbacks with the stupid knife plot. Despite being a simple goal, all they had to do was drive a straight line, yet they managed to completely mess it up, rolling straight to the ditch, leading to him making his final wish. The way he tries to get Thor's axe is by attacking his village in order to get his attention. I have problems already here. For starters, why would we ever attack their guardians, putting them in danger? You'll think he will sympathize with them, foolishly believing their god Thor is good, just like he once did before he took the sword. I don't believe he'll ever attack them for this reason. Especially there's a scene where one of Thor's friends, Fig, called for help after killing a god named Thaligar. You'll think Gorr will set a trap for him using Fig as bait for Thor foolishly coming to the rescue alone, separate from allies. Instead of doing that, they pick the worst possible option, where after the attack, he kidnaps a bunch of children, using them as bait/trap for Thor, so he comes to the rescue in the Shadow Realm. This here is so mind-numbingly dumb for this direction. 1. Why will he ever use children as bait, since his reason trying to kill the gods is because he believes they're the one causing suffering into the world, yet he kidnaps a bunch of children, putting them in suffering. Second, his relationship with his daughter. Being once a parent himself, knows that this is a horrible thing to do and wouldn't mess with any of them. When Thor does come to rescue them, it pretty much contradicts his whole motivation that the gods are selfish pricks. Thor, against all odds, attempts to save them with or no allies.
I meant to protect you, right? Well, where are they?
Thor is on his way.
I'm counting on that.
That's why you're here. I'm not a hypocrite. I'm truly creating peace.
I beg to differ, sir.
The defense I hear is that, well, the sword is corrupting him and making him lose morality, causing him to be crazy. Yeah, let me take a sip of some Red Bull to wake me up, since it's honestly just boring, completely deflating anything that was established in the beginning. This character has some level of code and morality that gives him some level of depth. He isn't just randomly killing people, or just play Scarbrand for that. He clearly does have some level of morality in the movie. How he sympathized with Jane for how she's in the same situation as him, with both of the weapons slowly killing them. He talks to Thor directly of his views on gods, so yes, he does have a code, it's just Taika Waititi being inconsistent with his character. Speaking of inconsistent, you see this guy, what type of personality you think he might have? Something like a brooding, serious demeanor, a bit edgy, but a no-nonsense kind of guy? Something along those lines. Well, no. He's actually more in line being a Joker in this film, constantly laughing in front of Thor, scaring children with a puppet show, with beheading a creature. What truly puts a nail to the coffin for Gorr is when getting Thor's axe at the dark version of Kami's planet, eventually opening the door to eternity, about to make his wish. Thor suggests why not wish his daughter to come back, only for him to say, well, who's gonna take care of her if he dies? If you ask me, this character died the moment he muttered those words. Since he knew there was a possibility that he could bring back his daughter and that the sword is slowly killing them, he'll find ways to either try to reverse this curse or make sure there's a safe place for his daughter, which could lead to him killing more gods, and once his daughter does come back, realize how much of a monster he became and tries to pull him out of his misery. But that'll be a completely different movie, wouldn't it be, Taika? Instead, what we get for the ending is that he entrusts Thor to raise his daughter. The same one he tried to kill multiple times has no reason to trust him to raise his daughter in his point of view. Trying to make Gorr sympathetic in this movie, yeah, that won't work, especially how much misery and chaos he caused throughout the galaxy, calling nice gods,
God of the Phalagarians, one of the nicest gods you'll ever meet.
putting the temples like in the one in the beginning unprotected by the gods since Gorr killed them, leading to being taken over. And kidnapping children almost caused them to die by a boulder falling on top of them if it wasn't for Thor's intervention. Kinda hard to get crocodile eyes for this man if he's being supposedly cruel throughout the movie. It isn't just how poorly written this character is in this film, it also the film crippling him even more, where the tone of the movie clearly does not match for someone that is named the God Butcher, because the direction seems to be going for a romance comedy, with the relationship between Thor and Jane as well as between his weapons, with the axe being jealous that Thor wants his hammer. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but this is the same movie about a man named the God Butcher killing gods like death itself. This butchering of the tone is equivalent to turning something like Breaking Bad from a crime drama to a late night comedy.
I'm relaxed.
It just completely ruins any tension or threat that this character could create if the movie is not attempting to match it, which leads us to the other characters also not taking Gorr seriously, like Thanos, instead of treating him more like Doofenshmirtz.
Basically, we're up against a curse, shadow, zombie, kidnapper. Awesome. When do we leave?
Oh, yeah.
Don't call the axe when you call the dentist.
We even see him getting beaten a couple of times with the characters holding him like he's a wimp. Gorr has had a massive nerf for this movie, since this guy was able to enslave a bunch of gods, fight against 3 Thors, past, present, and future, and yet they barely even matched them. He isn't just some random pushover. They also miss a lot of cool potential scenes where the 2 gods were fighting. The Dark One is apparently the god of symbiotes, essentially Venom's Jesus, since his sword is just a steel blade, but in the comic it's a symbiote, able to use it as a cloak, creating different weapons from them, and monsters, or apostles, since I tend to see them as, matching Thor's strength. Instead of getting the fight of the gods, we get children fighting apostles like it's a game. Yeah, I'm just done. Let's wrap this up. Gorr could have potentially been another Thanos in the big screens, with his motives coming from a sympathetic origin, with a cool design and his powers matching it. This type of character we've seen work multiple times, with the most famous of them, Kratos. Instead, his character is handled poorly, with the movie's tone and direction clearly not meant for this character to be here. Taika Waititi should not have been in charge, with his co-writer clearly not having the specific vision for Gorr to shine in this film. Thanks for watching, and bye.